The villagers in rural Texas were growing desperate after countless defeats against the relentless destruction caused by ferocious wild boars. John's hunting team stepped onto this land with a single mission: to restore hope to the people. Every step they took was a vow of unwavering determination. This time, hunting wild boar was no longer just a passion, it was a noble mission. And they knew failure was not an option. Will John's team succeed in their mission? Stay tuned to find out. At the break of dawn, the team piled into their vehicle and headed to the planned location. Upon arrival, tense eyes locked in. The hunt for the beasts had begun. Soon after the hunting dogs were released, a signal rang out. A wild boar had been spotted. John and his team moved in immediately. There it was. A towering dark figure came into view. Without hesitation, John squeezed the trigger. The grass was marked by a fallen obstacle. The first victory was sealed within seconds. Pressing onward, John moved toward the spot where he was certain the beast would appear. Raising his binoculars, there was no escape. Two wild boars were busy foraging in the tall grass. A series of precise, swift moves ensured they remained unaware. The sharp crack of the gunshot rang out decisively. One fell on the spot. The other vanished into the shadows, gone in an instant. In mere moments, the prize was securely in John's hands. The joy was short-lived, as a familiar signal snapped John back into full focus. His steps quickened, as if fearing the enemy might vanish again. Just minutes after arriving, a strange sound broke the silence. John's eyes locked in, refusing to miss a single detail. The beast appeared. John fired immediately. Dust kicked up everywhere, but the creature lay motionless on the ground. After a morning's hunt, the haul was notable, but still barely a drop in the bucket compared to the rapid breeding of these monstrous beasts. John and his team decided to step up their game by deploying aerial hunting to accelerate their takedown efforts. Helicopters roared overhead, splitting up to scour the terrain for targets. Minutes later, John's chopper approached an open field. The loud noise flushed the wild boars out, sending them into a panicked stampede. John and the pilot worked in perfect harmony, turning every escape route into a deadly trap. Unexpected shots rang out one after another, each bringing down a beast with deadly precision. The helicopter continued its flight to the neighboring field. Then, a rapid volley of gunfire erupted. As soon as the wild boars appeared, the pilot skillfully maneuvered the chopper closer, giving John the perfect opportunity to strike. The relentless sound of shots echoed through the air, leaving only the fallen beasts scattered across the land. In another corner, Nick's helicopter was sweeping through the area relentlessly. The pilot circled continuously, determined not to miss a single target. The moment a target appeared, the chopper closed in instantly. Wherever Nick went, another beast fell. Yet another piece of land saved from the brink, just in the nick of time. Today's battle successfully stopped a major threat to the people of Texas. Freedom was reclaimed, and the field was saved from the sharp claws of these monstrous beasts. This journey ends here for now. If you found it exciting, don't forget to leave a like, share, and stay tuned for even more intense hunts ahead. See you in the next video.
I'm telling you. Oh, big pig, 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Louisiana, where the fields stretch and the swamps are vast, braced against an unwelcome enemy, feral pigs. According to local government statistics, the damage caused by feral pigs is estimated to be in the millions of dollars each year. We couldn't wait for the pigs to come to our homes. We couldn't wait for them to destroy our crops. And we couldn't kill them one by one the old-fashioned way, too dangerous, too slow. So the aerial assault was launched, and we, the seasoned hunters, were invited to join in. We were in the helicopter and headed out to the vast plains. From above, we watched the panicked pigs flee. Amidst the noise of the propellers, we kept firing, aiming at the pigs below. The open terrain made it easy for us to spot the target. With no place to hide, the herd of pigs was quickly taken down. From our position on the plain, we detected signs of another herd of wild pigs, but they were hiding in the nearby woods, making it difficult to see clearly. So a plan was made. The plane lowered its altitude, approached, and caused a commotion. Finally, after half an hour of patience, the wild pigs could not bear it and ran out. And the result could not be otherwise. A lightning attack took place, and we successfully finished off the target. However, In the chaos, a few wild boars were lucky to escape. Immediately launched a pursuit. Here it is. After determining the location of the herd of pigs, we were ready to attack. These wild boars were more cunning than we thought. They avoided the fatal shot, which surprised the whole team. Immediately after, we also took advantage of the opportunity and shot down a few more wild boars.
Well, after we got so horny to touch off rounds of the other...
This hunting method is really effective. It didn't take us too long to find the target. After the intense confrontation, a few wild boars were running away. They separated from the herd and ran everywhere. Not missing the opportunity, the whole team fought with all their might. We aimed our guns at the biggest ones and pulled the trigger. Oh, this target is so big. Aiming at the vital spot, I fired a decisive shot. After a loud bang, the wild boar had no chance to escape. Continuing the fight, we moved towards the lush fields. They thought that the tall grass would help them hide, but it was all in vain. After being discovered, they ran away at an extremely fast speed. We only took down a few targets. However, we did not give up and continued to chase. In the afternoon, we continued our high-altitude hunting trip. This time, we were more prepared, but at this time, the pigs were also extremely active. We really don't remember how many pigs were taken down today. It could be a huge number, and this was a successful hunt.
The fertile fields are being ravaged mercilessly by ferocious wild boars. They lurk in treacherous terrain, challenging even the most skilled marksmen. Facing the devastation caused by these beasts, the hunters refuse to back down, plunging into a fierce battle to stop the marauders. Will they succeed? Today's hunt will provide the answer. Join us to witness the thrilling moments right now. Following the plan precisely, the team swiftly moves into the dense forest in France. Upon arrival, they promptly advance to their pre-assigned positions, discreetly observing their surroundings. The battle officially begins when a wild boar suddenly appears in John's crosshairs. It charges through the trees, completely unaware that it has stumbled into the line of fire. Seizing the moment, decisive gunshots ring out until the beast staggers. Through his binoculars, John continues to observe and confirm, only to notice it's still struggling to escape. Another shot echoes, leaving no room for error, and the boar finally lies still on the bed of dry leaves. Continuing to move through the forest, their steps are slow and cautious. Tense eyes scan every leaf, missing no movement. Suddenly, a dark shadow darts across their view. Without hesitation, a barrage of shots rings out again, halting the beast's charge. But the hunt isn't over yet. John and his team press deeper into the forest, where the wild boars still lurk, determined to put an end to the threat. As expected, not long after advancing, a wild boar swiftly appears. John immediately assumes a ready stance, his eyes locked on the target. Timing each step of the beast's charge, he fires the moment the opportunity strikes. Absolutely perfect! The creature collapses onto the ground, eliminating yet another threat to this land. Another battle unfolds simultaneously as Jay conducts his hunt in the dense thickets, the perfect hiding place for the monstrous beasts. Through his binoculars, he quickly spots a familiar silhouette. With his rifle cocked and no wasted movement, Jay pulls the trigger. A single shot and the beast collapses instantly. But before he can approach to check, an urgent signal blares. A second wild boar has just emerged. He swiftly rushes to the reported area, preparing for another thrilling confrontation. Upon arriving, Jay carefully observes every movement around him, ready for any situation that might arise. Suddenly, A wild boar charges out from the bushes ahead. Jay, already prepared, fires a precise shot that halts the beast's escape. Yep. A meticulously calculated move. Jay has successfully neutralized the threat. At another location, a tense chase is unfolding. As usual, the marksman repeats familiar maneuvers to take down the beast. However, this wild boar proves difficult to subdue, charging at breakneck speed. The shooter has to fire multiple shots in rapid succession to finally halt its escape. At last, the beast lies still on the grass. Edge of the blazing forest, the shot that sealed the fate of the marauders. Wild boars are multiplying rapidly, ravaging farmlands and causing millions of dollars in losses for farmers. Who will stop them? It's the skilled, fearless hunters, ready to take action to reclaim crops and land for the people. Gunshots echo, and fierce confrontations unfold one after another to restore the balance between nature and humanity. Will peace be restored? Follow along to find out. A flawless ambush is unfolding, kicking off today's journey. Kevin's team assembled and moved to the location at 6 a.m. Upon arrival, armed with binoculars, they quietly advanced to their pre-assigned positions. "15 minutes passed when a familiar figure suddenly darted across James' line of sight. The boar was lumbering toward its hiding spot, unaware of the eyes tracking it. Seizing the moment as the wild boar entered his crosshairs, a decisive gunshot rang out. The boar collapsed swiftly, with no time to react or escape. In the west, Kevin and his team were tracking the traces of wild boars. Not long after, through his binoculars, Kevin spotted a boar concealed at the edge of a hillside. He swiftly pulled the trigger and the boar collapsed, unaware of what had just happened. A cold, decisive shot, putting an end to the devastation caused by these ferocious beasts. At the same time, in the vineyards of Tuscany, another team of hunters swiftly encircled the entire field. The hunting dogs fanned out, scouring the thickets to track down the wild boars. Minutes later, at the vineyard's edge, Tom received a signal from the dogs and immediately closed in. Suddenly, a wild boar burst from the underbrush. Tom quickly pulled the trigger, cutting off the prey's escape route. A timely, decisive shot, completely halting the destruction of these savage beasts before the lush rows of grapevines. A signal rang out, alerting the team to the beast's appearance in a nearby field. The team immediately sprang into action, following the lingering tracks. There it was, charging like an arrow, darting across Leon's line of sight. Rapid gunshots echoed, leaving the prey no chance to escape. It collapsed before it could slip into the bushes at the field's edge. A thrilling pursuit brought to a close. As dusk settled, the hunting team quickly packed up their gear. While crossing the field, a shooter suddenly spotted a herd of wild boars busily ravaging everything in sight. He assumed position, locked onto the target, and pulled the trigger. The target dropped on the spot, while the others vanished in an instant. This time, they may have escaped by luck, but next time won't be so easy. After a long, intense day, the hunting team withdrew, ready to prepare for the fierce battles ahead.
Upon arriving at the hunting grounds in Africa, we were filled with both excitement and caution. This place is not only a land of majestic golden grasslands, but also a battleground where predators and prey are in a constant struggle for survival. Our companion, a seasoned hunter who lives here, told us that the wildlife population has exploded, posing a threat to nearby villages. A hunting expedition is necessary to control the population and restore the natural balance. We followed the tracks of a lion pride lurking near the forest's edge, where villagers had reported repeated livestock attacks. A deep, resonating growl echoed in the distance, signaling the presence of a true predator. Lions are dangerous animals, so we had to be extremely careful. Quickly getting into position, we raised our guns, ready for a life or death battle. Moving cautiously through the low bushes and hiding behind massive tree trunks, we felt the tension thick in the air. The first bullet fired, hitting the lion's shoulder, but it wasn't enough to bring it down. Fury ignited in his eyes as it roared loudly. We had to coordinate perfectly, continuously firing to prevent a sudden counterattack from this mighty predator. As the lion collapsed, we sighed in relief, but we knew this was just the beginning of a long and challenging day. Continuing our journey, we ventured into the vast savanna, where a herd of zebras grazed peacefully. The villagers needed their meat and hides, as their increasing numbers were affecting the food supply of other wildlife. Unlike the encounter with the lion, this was a real chase. Zebras are swift as the wind. At the slightest noise, they would bolt like a storm. We split into teams, with one group applying pressure to drive them into an ambush. Shots rang out, and the zebras panicked, sprinting forward. But we had calculated their path. A fully grown zebra was taken down instantly. The rest vanished into the distance, leaving deep hoof prints in the dry grass. Fortunately, we managed to take down another zebra before they escaped completely. While tracking the zebras, we suddenly spotted a kudu, a massive antelope with impressive spiral horns, hiding in the dense bushes. Approaching the kudu is no easy task. They are incredibly alert and can sprint away at high speed if they sense danger. A large male kudu stood apart, scanning its surroundings cautiously. This was our target. The first shot fired, the kudu staggered before collapsing. The rest of the herd fled instantly, but we had already planned ahead. Another team member lay in wait, aimed carefully, and pulled the trigger, a perfect shot. Moving along the vast grasslands, we encountered another herd of antelopes grazing. Alongside zebras, antelopes are an essential source of meat in many African cultures. Locals use their meat for food, while their hides are crafted into traditional clothing and tools. Under the blazing sun, the antelopes remained highly alert, their eyes constantly scanning for danger. When one antelope wandered slightly away from the herd, we knew it was the perfect opportunity. We carefully approached to avoid detection. This was the moment. We were ready to fire. A precise shot struck the target. The large antelope collapsed instantly after a loud gunshot echoed across the plains. As soon as the target appeared, we pulled the trigger. The gunshot rang out, 1 shot, 1 kill. This hunt not only yielded significant results but also helped balance the wildlife population, ensuring the safety of the local people.